there's nonstop propaganda that the Democrat super PACs are running saying that Trump will crash the economy if he's president. This is a complete fabrication. Can you just address that right out of the gate to give our audience some intellectual ammunition to fight?
So I just wrote a column on this, so thank you for asking. This is precisely, I went back to 2016. Do you remember? This is exactly what they said. Remember, Charlie, in 2016? Oh, my God, Trump's going to cause a second Great Depression. He's going to crash the economy. He's going to crash the stock market. It's going to be worse than the Great Depression. And, of course, it turned out to be exactly the opposite. Trump caused an economic boom when he became president. And so what's so unbelievable is that the same people who got it completely wrong in 2016 are now saying exactly the same thing in 2024. Oh, my God, he's going to cause a Great Depression. He's going to crash the stock market. No, nobody could do more damage to the economy than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have done over the last 4 years. There's also a bunch of these Nobel Prize economics winners who basically said, oh, Trump's going to cause inflation. These are the same people when Biden came in, they all signed a letter in the New York Times saying, don't worry, but Biden's policies won't cause inflation. So they don't know which way is up either.
Yeah, it's pure propaganda. What do you have to say when they run these ads saying that that Kamala Harris is for the middle class and Trump is only for the billionaire class?
Well, that's why we wrote the book, The Trump Economic Miracle, because the real miracle is that for the first time in decades, we saw substantial gains of income for the very middle class, working class people that you're talking about, Charlie. I was on Sean Hannity's show last night on Fox, and I mentioned that if you go to, and you've been traveling around the country a lot, as I
Yes.
have, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you go into the really, really rich areas, the very wealthy suburbs, Beverly Hills and so on, all you see is Kamala Harris signs. But if you go to the middle class, working class areas of the country, all you see is Donald Trump signs. So I think that all you have to do is ask the American people, and they will tell you. And incidentally, some polls came out in the last 48 hours. 2/3 to 3/4 of Americans say the economy is going in the wrong direction, their personal finances are bad, and the country's going in the wrong direction. So why don't we ask real Americans, not these so-called experts?
Yeah, that is exactly right. And so let's play some piece of tape here this is the last economic data right before the election. This used to be like a big deal in the election. Now the media has suppressed it. Let's play, I believe, Rick Santelli we have here. Let's play cut 101. It's an awful jobs report.
Jobs report, and the prophecy came true. Jobs light, 12,000 in non-farm payroll. That is the lightest going back to December of 2020.
So give us a summary, Steve. What was the news today?
Yeah, it was. I can't do better than Rick Santelli, although I was on Fox Business News when he was reporting that. But we had the same impression that, and this is just a fact, that the private sector lost 40,000 jobs. By the way, do you know the one sector of the economy that grew in this report?
Government.
Yeah, government. Here we go again. All they've done is grow government and grow debt and grow taxes and grow spending. And so that is what has led the economy all the way in the last 3.5 years is big, massive increases in government spending. Incidentally, we ran a $2 trillion deficit in 2024, the fiscal year just ended. This is a dismal, dismal record.
Yeah, and so, Steve, for someone that doesn't understand the economic data as well as you do, can you go through some of the policies that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden did that drove this, specific actions that have ruined our economy and increased inflation?
Well, that's an easy one. That's a laid-up question for me because, and I think most of your listeners probably know the answer to this, which is Biden came. Remember, we had a 1.5% inflation rate when Trump left office, 1.5%. 18 months later, Biden and Kamala Harris come in, and they wrecked the economy so badly we're at, remember, 9.1%. So how did they do that? Well, they came in and they went on the biggest spending binge in American history, spending money on everything from green energy programs to massive welfare benefits to student loan bailouts. And they were just passing out free money. And how did we accommodate that? The Fed just printed money to pay for it. And everyone knows this from their Economics 100 course. Inflation is too many dollars chasing too few goods. So when you print that kind of money, it's obvious you're going to have inflation.
and the quote unquote Inflation Reduction Act. And so just to repeat, the private sector lost jobs. This report, is that correct, Steve?
That's right. In fact, manufacturing, construction, and business services, three of the most important industries for, the upper middle income and working class people. We lost 100,000 jobs in manufacturing, construction. Those are a lot of the union jobs. Sorry, Kamala and Joe Biden, you keep talking about how much you care about working class Americans. Those jobs were lost.
Yeah, and it's the worst jobs report since the height of COVID is what we are seeing.
That's
and
right.
so now let's get into some specifics here, Steve. What, if Donald Trump becomes president, would you advise him to do out of the gate? What policies is he going to do to reverse course?
Well, one great thing about Donald Trump is, I've loved working with him for the last 8 years and giving him advice. But the truth is, he doesn't really need my advice. He knows what to do. He has great instincts on the economy. And so we're going to do right out of the gate. He's told me he's going to have a stack of executive orders 2 inches thick. First hours in the White House, and we're going to reverse a lot of the crazy things that Biden has done. We're going to build the Keystone. Remember the Keystone XL pipeline?
Yes.
We're going to rebuild that thing. We're going to do we're going to get America out of the anti-America climate. The Paris climate change. Remember, Trump got us out of it, and Biden put us back into it. So we're getting out of it again. We're going to relieve a lot of the regulations. For example, that you can't have a gas stove, or that you have to buy EVs. I mean, I don't mind people having EVs. My wife and I have a hybrid. We love it, but we don't want the government telling us what kind of car we can buy.
Yeah, no, the electric vehicle mandate from the end. Just let's talk about energy in general, Steve. Just the amount, if we can get back to energy independence and supremacy, just talk about the ramifications throughout the economy.
Well, when you asked me about inflation, I should have added that another thing that contributed to inflation was that we dramatically reduced our energy production. And energy obviously is the input in every single thing. Every job in America is tied to energy, and every product produced is tied to energy. So if energy prices go up, food prices go up, computer prices go up, your mortgage goes up, housing costs go up. And so Trump is totally committed to using everything we've got, using our oil, our gas, our coal, our nuclear power, and not only that, but minerals. You probably know this, Charlie, but the United States has $5 trillion of minerals. We are the most mineral-rich country in the world, and yet we're importing them. We're importing minerals, even though we have more than anybody else. And so Trump is very much in favor of us getting our copper and our uranium and our lithium and all this stuff, the precious metals. Why would we want to get those from China? It makes no sense.
That is such a great point.